Hey everybody, it's your boy Montel. What's going on? How's everybody doing? I know you guys are having a fantastic day, week, month, year, however you want. Hopefully you had a fantastic weekend. I know I did. If you follow my Instagram, and I want to do a video on it later, two of my kids came and paid me a visit. But we'll talk about that another day. Completely fantastic video in itself. However, it's Tuesday night, and you know what happens on Tuesday. Your boy Bow is in front of the CW, in front of his TV, watching the next episode of Black Lightning. So we're looking at season 2, episode 2, and I'm going to come back and give you my review. If you guys are ready, thank you for joining me. TV's ready, shirt's ready, even got the beanie. It's getting cold, so I can go back to wearing the beanies again. Yes, okay, so get ready. Hey everybody, it's your boy Montel. What's going on? How's everybody doing? I just finished watching season 2, episode 2 of Black Lightning. Of course, they're still following along with the Book of Consequences, and the first chapter was last week. So chapter 2 is the Black Jesus Blues. And let me tell you, one thing I really enjoy about this series is where they go. But before I continue on with that, I want to say thank you to everyone who has been checking out my channel. Thank you to my new subscribers. You guys are a blessing. You guys are amazing. I thank you. You've taken the time to hit a button and say, I like what he does, and just went for it. All right. You can catch me on social media. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. More on Instagram and Twitter. I'm coming up right around better to Facebook. Trying, don't push it. Okay. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. It's by my head somewhere. I try to keep it close by because I have a small head, so there's a lot of room. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so as soon as I upload a video, you guys are ready to see what I have to say, okay? And like my videos. Please. You figure I would stop doing that by now, but I get such a kick out of it, so I'm not even going to worry about that, okay? Now, on to the show. What I was saying is what I really like about this show is that it doesn't focus on one particular aspect of the storyline to guide it along. You've got different aspects of the storytelling, the character development, all of that. And season 1 was just the perfect example of how this show is able to tell a story without focusing on the superhero aspect of most shows out there now. Not saying that Supergirl, Arrow, Flash, Legends of Tomorrow aren't prime. They're amazing. But that's what sets this apart. You have someone who has superpowers, but he's not trying to save the world. He's just focused on his community, his family, and when it gets down to the last minute, himself. But he puts it in priority. So, I love the way this story goes. I love how the characters are developing, and you see how they're growing. They're growing by leaps and bounds. You see their own individual personalities, and the most important thing is that they don't crowd each other. They don't overwhelm each other. They have this harmony. They move in sync in their own way, and it's brilliant. It's so brilliant. Mr. Berlanti, thank you so much for doing this. I like how CW is willing to take the chance to come out with something that, let's face it, most other networks wouldn't even bother trying unless there was something risque about it or something mainstream. I grew up reading Black Lightning, okay? And back then, he had on the blue, black, and yellow jumpsuit, he had the fro, and he was still all about doing this thing. So now we just moved it a little bit to modern times and made it more relevant, okay? So, we're still experiencing the fallout from the previous season. Of course, we know that Jennifer is still coming into her power, still trying to understand that that's going to take some time, and I know she's wrestling with being a teenager and stuff, but that's going to come in time, and she's going to be a force to be reckoned with. Jefferson is all over the place. He's worried about Lynn, with her working with the ASA, because Lynn has decided to focus on Issa. Remember the young man in the last one who was killed by the police, but he was resurrected? Well, now we find a little bit more about him in this episode. Now, I'm not going to give too much away because you can still watch the second episode, but I guarantee you watching it opens a lot of doors, but it asks a lot of questions too. Of course, we see the fallout from Tobias and what's going on with him. Obviously, he's got big plans, and he is cleaning up. He's tying up loose ends in the most extreme ways you can think of. And with Cyanide dying in the first episode, yeah, you can see his wheels are clicking in such weird ways. And of course, Khalil is underneath him, and Khalil is loyal only because of threat of death. Khalil would rather just move on and be his own thing, because Khalil still has feelings for Jennifer, and he really wants to be in her life, but he's beholden to Tobias for giving him legs and a few other things too. So I can understand from that standpoint. I just love the character development. We see Anissa is finally starting to live, maybe a little bit over the top, and now because she has her powers, it's making it a little more brazen, and it's made her a little bit more, I'm not gonna say mouthy, but bold and less humble as she was before. And you can kind of tell how it's starting to transition and how she's starting to change. You know, she's seeing this young lady that's the singer who's doing really well, and then at a party you happen to see the other young lady that you were seeing in the first season when she was a bartender, and it was such a moment where you just kind of went, oh no. But it never lost the flow, it never lost its magic. We find out that Jefferson has been asked by the school board to step down as principal, and we also find out that his replacement is going to be a white guy. Now, a lot of people will be quick to say, oh, now it becomes racial. Well, if you look at how the story has been foretold, here is a man who has been a principal of a predominantly black school, who everybody's pretty much been doing fine. And because now we had this whole series of events from season 1, and now the school board wants a scapegoat, so now they want to put somebody in this for them. And to me, that goes into the realm of politics. And Robert Townsend playing Napier, I like the character. He's loyal. He's trying to be loyal to Jefferson, but at the same time, he's trying to maintain his job. Once again, you have that middle. You have someone who's trying to ride the fence, trying to please both parties, but he's going to be more beholden to the greater than the lesser. And I like that. I like that a lot. I think what me is, I don't want too much of real world to get into a story. You can sometimes have too much of the real world into a story, and that drives out the magic. That pushes away what story they're trying to tell. And I really don't want that, but I don't see that happening here. More so that they maintain the human element, and that's what I love. I really, really love that. Of course, we see Black Lightning and Thunder on the streets. They still have those levels of action and everything, but what I liked about this episode is the action did not take center stage. It was the interactivity. Now, one of the funniest things I think was when it was funny to me when Lynn, who is now taking responsibility because she brought Issa home, the young man was telling you about, to her home because they were going to leave him in there. And Bill Duke playing the agent is just phenomenal. That man's gold. That man's acting gold. Even when he's being a complete and total, I wouldn't say bad guy, but antagonist, he does it with a cool air. So of course he's always linking on Lynn. Well, Lynn brings Issa to the house to have dinner, and everything seems fine. But this is when you start finding out what Issa's power really is because of his exposure to green light. He has the ability, when he looks into your eyes to ask a question, or even just, or looking at someone, he has the ability to make you tell the truth. And like you said, the truth is not always pretty. And you could just see the family just saying how they feel inside their heart. And I had to jump a couple of times. I said, how close are we for someone to tell a secret? And they had to remove from the table. But Jennifer was the one who figured out that there was a trigger to his power. So she helped him out on her typical lurch, or I say her typical area on the roof outside the window of her room, and she did something that I think is going to be killer. She became a bit of a mentor for Issa, and he let him know that it's okay. And that was something that was really precious too. You know, despite all the chaos that's going on, you still got someone who's level-headed enough to kind of observe everything and see it. Granted, I didn't expect it from Jennifer. I kind of expected it from Lynn, and I definitely expected it from Jefferson. But Jen is definitely the wild card in all this, and of course she's still realizing her powers, and she shows she still has feelings for Khalil when he came to visit her completely unexpectedly. And the one thing she does, she pushes him off the roof. Dude, you killed Black Lightning. Oh, he's all right. Did you forget he saved my life? Well, I just can't stay awake. And you still see that emotional tension right there. She's still feeling him, but she hasn't forgotten what he's done. And he wants so bad to be an individual again and try to get back what little happiness that he had before everything started going crazy in the first season. But we see Jen is still fighting with her powers. So ultimately, Jefferson resigns his post as principal. The parents aren't happy about that, and the kids aren't happy about that. But what I really loved about this, was that when he did the resignation in front of the students, everything he instilled in them, every bit of wisdom and knowledge and humility and what it means to just stand up for yourself, they flipped it back on him and they taught him. The same saying, the same mantra that he had been telling them to repeat after, they made him repeat it after them. And in that moment, Jefferson realized, I did have a difference. I did make a difference. I had an influence. And that just goes for anyone. We always want to have someone who is an influence in our life. We want someone who is going to be a positive role model, or at least someone that we know we can go to when things get tough. And the kids remember that. And that's always a life lesson. We got all this chaos in our world going on. There are at least one or two people out there we can lean on and say, hey, they're still stable. I know I can go to them, or I can talk to them, or I can ask them for advice or anything. So this episode was phenomenal. Was absolutely amazing. I loved it from beginning to end. This second season is just going to be shaping up to be a barn burner in so many ways, because each character is still developing. Okay? And we don't know, of course, we know ultimately that Tobias wants to be a weapons and arms dealer in metahumans. We still don't know what's in the briefcase, but we'll find out eventually, because that adds to the story. So if you haven't seen second episode of Black Lightning, Black Jesus Blues, go check it out. If you haven't seen the first episode, The Greenlight Babies, go check it out. You got to. Season 2 is just phenomenal. If you haven't seen season 1, as I urged you before, go to Netflix, watch season 1, catch it all the way through. That way when you get to season 2, you won't be lost. In fact, you'll be intrigued. And that's what makes it so great. So thank you guys for checking me out. Please, 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 please spread this show around. It has been a breakout. It is everything that I had hoped for as a comic book head and as an overall geek and nerd, and for a Black Lightning fan since I was a kid. So this show is phenomenal. So please put the word out about Black Lightning. Black Lightning premieres Tuesday nights on the CW at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, of course. And of course, the West Coast is about to get theirs here very shortly. So trust me, they're going to be enjoying it just as much as we do. So thank you for checking me out. Please don't forget to share my videos. Please don't forget to subscribe. Please like my videos. Alright? Please keep it going. And thank you again for subscribing to my people who ride or die with me. Nothing but love for you. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for the comments and everything else. Alrighty? That's it for you, boy, for tonight. So, take care of yourselves and do the one thing I ask you to do every time. Okay? You ready? Stay nerdy. Stay geeky, and as always, stay sexy. Bye, guys. Yeah!